Okay, welcome to the Bookmap Platform Details webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. The risk disclaimer: trading equities and futures involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. So for more information, you go to bookmap.com, and there is a free trial. Okay, it comes with education. You get the Bookmap educational course, as well as access to the advanced order flow webinars. Now, the course, or I should say the advanced order flow webinars here, they support the educational course. So if you go into the trial, then this would, watch the course, understand what, some of the details here in the course, and then start to attend the live order flow analysis webinars. So in these webinars, we really dive deeper into the order flow, not just functionality of the platform, and then we start to anticipate price movements based on what we objectively read in the order flow. Okay, this tool can be used very objectively, and that's really its strength here. Okay, so in fact, I'm going to give you a link to today's webinar for those of you who are not in trial or current customers. We do this on Friday so that you get a feel for what those are like. So let me. I'll do that in a minute here. Let's just go to bookmap.com. Okay, and let me just go through the website really quickly here. Home page here. Click on Explore. There's an intro video. It's about a minute long. You'll find out more information here about Bookmap. This is the link for the free webinar. I'll change this and update it for next week in a few hours. Okay, so in the afternoon here, Eastern time. It's going to be a short week next week due to the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday. All right, and more information about the platform here, some testimonials, and then Bookmap for equities. Okay, you can also connect Bookmap to NASDAQ Total View. It's all U.S. equities. It's a great data feed. I have some equities if you guys want to look at some, and the advantages you get with that data feed. All right. Okay, so we are not a broker. And we are a software trading platform, just like other trading platforms like NinjaTrader and TTX Pro or TradeStation or Thinkorswim, right? Or Interactive Brokers. Now we connect to Interactive Brokers, Traders Workstation, NinjaTrader, and Trading Technologies or TTX Pro via the API of these platforms. Okay, but we are a platform just like them, so you can connect Bookmap directly to your data feed via CQG, Rhythmic, Gain Capital, IQ Feed, all the rest that you see here. Okay, and you will need that. Okay, because we don't provide that. Okay, let's see. Scroll down a little bit further. This is where you can find the trial. Okay, 14 days of the basic or advanced. It's really one version of Bookmap. It's the basic version here. It's $49 per month, billed quarterly. The advanced that you see here, it's double the cost, but what you get is the ability to trade right from the chart, okay, and a slew here of additional add-on indicators that we have developed, okay, proprietary indicators that read the order flow and the positions of larger players. Okay, so iceberg detector, for example, or large lot tracker, we start to identify larger players. Okay, quants, you may have special needs connecting to your own data or your own proprietary indicators. We can help you out with that as well. So just click here for learn more. If you need a data feed, okay, that goes along with the 14-day trial period of Bookmap, you can click here. Or if you really want to see the details and the comparisons between the three different versions here, then you can click on this link here. All right. Okay. You can also follow us here on Twitter at bookmap_pro. And then here is our YouTube page. All our videos are up here as well. The intro videos, I would recommend if you're new, watch some of these. You can see there's a minute long. The overview of 6.0, you see this is 12.5 minutes, but you get a real feel for all the different new features and functionalities in 6.0. Right, features and components. Understand how to use the user interface in Bookmap with some of these videos, all the different features. Order flow video snippets. These are very short videos, okay? You want to understand the phenomena that you're witnessing in Bookmap, then these are the videos to watch. These concepts that we cover here in these short videos are what we go over in detail in the live order flow analysis, okay? That's for the current customers. All right. Okay. Let's jump into Bookmap here, and let me give you the that link as well. Just a minute here to the advanced order flow analysis, so that you guys can attend if you'd like. Okay, so it's going to be in the chat box there. There you go. Okay. Let's jump into Bookmap. All right, so we've been looking at the NASDAQ for quite a while. I think we'll just continue on with that and looking at that NASDAQ. You can see the move yesterday. Well, let's zoom out here. Just get a bigger picture view of what's going on, and then we can drill into some of the finer details here, okay? So this was the move yesterday. Massive, nice move, all-time highs again. In the advanced order flow webinar, we were, well, I mean, we saw the move. It kept on going up and up and up and looking for areas, trying to find out where it might start to turn around. In the end, the overall analysis was, well, we think this is going up to 63.50, the figure, and it did indeed, and a little bit above, but you can see that's been the stopping point here. Anyway, I'm going to cover that in the the next webinar in some detail. All right, so let's take a look here. We've gone sideways ever since, so pretty strong move based on earnings and also the tax reform package. We have some fundamentals in the market that are moving the market. Okay, we are down below this overnight session though. Okay, so are we going to accept or reject? Let's take a look at Bookmap. That's the Russell. Here we go. Okay. And let's zoom out. Okay. And guys, feel free ask questions if you have any questions here about Bookmap, what you're looking at, and understand how to use it. That's what this webinar here is for, okay, about the platform details. All right, other than that, I'm just going to go through what Bookmap is showing you with the basics, right? And then that's going to lead into the more advanced stuff later, okay? So lots of stuff here at looking at the Bookmap chart, okay? It looks pretty crowded. It looks a little overwhelming. Looks like there is a lot of data here. It's actually the opposite, it's actually pretty simple and straightforward data. It's even simpler than a regular candlestick chart. Okay, the concept of a candlestick chart is more complex than what you're looking at here, right? So we also have, you can see an indicator subpanel that's giving you a cumulative volume delta. I'm going to close that up and we're going to really simplify things here, and then we're going to start to read the order flow, okay, just the basics of it. All right, so what we're displaying here is really simple stuff. So I'm actually going to throw a candlestick chart on here, and I'm going to take all of this other data off. Okay, now that looks a lot simpler. Okay, but actually this is a pretty poor estimation of what's going on with price here, and it really is an estimation because you can start to read the candlesticks. You can start to read pressure in the, with the wicks and the body here giving the direction, the quick moves here, etc. Look, I like candlesticks. I've been reading them for years. I like. I'm just very familiar with them, and start to look for what's going on in some of these areas. But the key here is that maybe the candlestick gives you an overall bigger picture, but we need to know the details. Okay, so for example, we need to know what kind of traders were here. Okay, now we can start to estimate that we see buyers here. Okay, so I think we are seeing buyers coming in at these areas here, right? But where? Okay, at the bottom, at the top, in the middle. What type of volume? Was it the aggressive buyers or sellers, and where? Okay, is there trapped volume in some of these areas? Okay, I think we're probably going to see that, and I think that we're going to see them start to cover here pretty soon with this current candle. All right, but anyway, we want to understand that data because this is very opaque. Okay, we don't know. We don't know where they're bidding and offering as well, and we're going to see a really built-out limit order book. I just saw a glimpse of it this morning. We're going to see a lot of orders down here wanting to buy. All right, all of that information is completely lost on this candlestick chart. Now, I'm going to start off with really simple view that gives a lot of insight, and that is just simply the historical best bid and offer. And why does that give us insight? Because it's a true representation of actual price. All right, there is no aggregation involved, and what that allows us to see then is microstructure. Okay, this is a big advantage, it's such a simple thing, but it really helps us give insight here. Okay, and I'll show you examples. All right, so this move right here, right, and this is actually what we cover in the educational course. Okay, you see the consolidation here at 9:30. Okay, cash open, back and forth, and then all of a sudden we see a sweep of the order book. Aggressive sellers come in here, right in this area here, and look at this structure. Okay, now this isn't so micro. This is kind of medium term here. We see a nice big structure back and forth here, and then we break down below this area right here. Okay, this is the new reality of the auction and price. Okay, the acceptance of what this instrument is worth. It's down below this area. Right? Look at the retest back up into this area. Okay, there's all sorts of structural details in here. It's all lost in the candles. We just see wicks on both sides and have no clue what's going on here. Okay, we see the same pattern again here. Okay, actually here's a microstructural area right here, and then it broke down below that into this little area right here, and then it broke down further. All right, now we came back up and tested again. Came back down, we get a double bottom here, and then kind of a triple, etc. Bottom down here. All right. So we're already getting a clue or a good understanding of structure and how it's holding, how price is holding that structure. Now let's look at the volume. Okay, where are the transactions taking place in this structure? Right, and let's turn on the volume dots here, and all we're looking at here, and let me turn up the dot size a little bit. Okay, all right, all we're looking at here is where the volume transacted on the historical best bid and offer. Okay, and but we're showing you what type of volume, the size of it, and where. Okay, really important details. That's completely lost here on that candlestick, right? So this move to the downside, look at all the selling that occurred here in this area. Okay, majority of the volume was down here, and the majority of it is selling. All right, and we move back up and test the highs here in this structure. Okay, we find that basically exhaustion up here. Okay, the volume is actually starting to tell us there's really no buyers or very few buyers up in this area. We exhaust out and come back down and test the lows again. Okay, and look at these traders here. They're going to be trapped, all right, because they bought the breakdown of this area here, majority of them, and look how now we're starting to see a shift in the volume here as we break this little microstructure and up to the upside. Look at the buyers starting to step in. Okay, it doesn't mean that, it could mean that we continue to the upside. Okay, but usually these things take a little while to reverse. Okay, that reversal pattern, and usually we do get another test down here. And what we get down in this little test is exhaustion. We find less sellers, okay? And Bookmap is actually, let me zoom in just a little bit, okay, is starting to show that, okay? Actually, some selling here still, right? But then look at this retest here and here, very little selling. You know, so at this point here, there's no more selling interest. In fact, now we're not making lower lows. Okay, we made a lower low here, and then we're making an equal low here, right? Now we're making higher lows. Okay, and we noticed over here aggressive buyers starting to come in. This is giving us clues to the potential for reversal. Okay, and then we break out of this little microstructure here. And I'm actually kind of curious, or I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. Usually it's in this area here, right here, that we start to see the aggressive buyers. Okay, lift the offer very aggressively. Usually you see it like this here, you know, big green dots pulling the market up. Not too many here, but we're starting to see, if we zoom in a little bit more, notice the buying stepping in here. Okay, so starting to see a shift in the order flow. Right, and you know, it looks like you know, maybe we'll get a retest back down here and make another a higher low. Okay, maybe we'll get a pullback here, but we also have the potential now to come up and test this 41 area here. This is the key, right? And any of the sellers down in these areas here, they're going to be buyers up here. Okay, it's a really key concept to understand in the market. Once they hit the sell button here, they are now buyers in the market, okay? That's an important thing to understand. Where are they going to buy? They're going to buy probably up in these areas here, right? They're going to give up, right? So we know that there's buyers up here. And if we can get up into this area here, it'll ignite those stops, right? We'll probably see those that were selling in these areas and are still bearish, they're probably going to want to absorb up in these areas. So now we're starting to get into the next level of data to understand, okay? And that is the auction. And that comes from the buyers and sellers lined up in the limit order book, okay? And we usually access that data in a DOM. And here's the DOM here in Bookmap. Okay, here's my price ladder. This is the current market here with the best bid and offer in the last traded volume. And then that's reflected here as well, best bid and offer right here. Okay, this is the current level 1 data with best bid and offer. Level 2 data is the rest of the market. Okay, and here's our limit order book, or in this case, it's just order book because I have rhythmic. There is no limit to it. All right. All of these areas here, even way up here or way down here, are live. Okay. This is a new feature with rhythmic, and CQG offers that as well. Okay. CQG does not offer it for CME products yet, but they do offer it for COMEX and NYMEX as well as rhythmic. All right. Anyway, it's a nice advantage. You also get that advantage with the US equities that I alluded to earlier, right, with that DX feed. Anyway, we want to understand where we understand the transactions, but we want to understand where they're bidding and offering in this book. Okay, significant buyer interest down here at 63.32, 151 contracts. All right, so we can see that in the DOM, and that's good. The problem with the DOM here is, as you see, these numbers are always changing. Okay. Sometimes they change very rapidly when there's quick movements. It's hard to understand and read the DOM here. It takes a long time to put that together and read these areas and understand how the liquidity is behaving. Do they have intent to trade or not at some of these areas? You'd have to remember these areas. Okay, they were here, they pulled at 40, now they're pulling and maybe adding up at 41 or 42, etc. Right? So starting to understand all that and keep that in your mind. You'd have to really focus here, and it takes a lot of mental activity. Okay, where Bookmap solves that problem is with the heat map. Okay, and that's the next level of data here. All right. Okay, here we come. All right, we were anticipating this move up to 41. Okay, we knew that buyers were coming in. We saw the move here, and here we are. All right, so let's see. I think we're still going to ignite some of these stops up in these areas. I do not see. Well, no, that's not true. I start to see some selling interest here on the limit order book at 42. All right. Here's another phenomena, and I'm going to cover it later, so I'll go over it. But we're starting to see a flip in the order book. Okay, they were here at 40, but they're now down here at 38 and 3/4. Anyway, yeah, I'll just save my breath here and hold that for the next webinar. All right, so you guys can come to that. All right, so understanding this limit order book is difficult with just the current view of the market, because once that current view changes, then it's gone. The data's gone. Bookmap solves the issue by recording it, okay, in a heat map. So here you see best bid and offer now, and you see this heat map. This heat map is the graphical representation of the liquidity. So high liquidity is shown with bright areas. And you'll see the heat map change. It'll get brighter and darker. Okay, that is all recorded and then transposed onto the chart here. Okay, so now we can start to read the behavior of these traders on the offer. Okay, so look how they came in on the offer and at this area here. It was dark here, and then they started to pop into the book and showed selling interest. They wanted to be sellers here. Okay, now we can zoom in there, and we can see and we can read the intent of these sellers. Okay, did they really want to sell? And the answer is no, because look how they pulled at the last minute as price was coming up here. So this was fake liquidity. Okay, we can make that distinction, right? And it's all recorded here, so you can just visually make that distinction. Okay, we can also see that on the other side here, buyers stepped in with high liquidity. Okay, so this is the buyers are now up at this area here. Okay, look at our area that was down here. No, that's 32. They're still here. Okay, but look at these. Look at this area here at 35. Okay, probably the same same buyer that's lifting his or raising his bid. Okay, because he's pulling liquidity from this area and then adding it up above. Okay. All right. Anyway, lots of details here, things to understand, and the point is here in the end, what we're looking at. And let me take the candlestick chart off, and we're going to add the indicators on. The point here is that in the end, this is actually really simple stuff. What we're looking at is basically just three different things here in the chart. Historical best bid and offer, the transactions that took place on the historical best bid and offer, and the historical auction, okay, the book. Okay, taking the dome and then making that visually accessible here. And look how it makes it accessible for us. I mean, we can now view this on we can use the book, the order book, on much higher time frames. Okay, that would be impossible on the dome. Okay, you would only be able to understand that current snapshot of the market at that moment. Okay, you can't see the auctioning like this down here. Look at the buying interest come in around this 30 area here. Okay, when we start to see some areas in here, we start to understand exactly how these markets are trading. Starting to see larger players stay in the book here and get absorbed. This will be real liquidity. Okay, they had the intent to trade and they stayed in the book. All right. Anyway, those are some of the basic concepts, and we can get into some further details in the next webinar. Okay, so yeah, hope to see you guys there, and let's call it a day for now, and we'll jump into the next webinar. Okay, I'll put that link in there one more time if you guys came in late. There you go. So it's in the Bookmap chat there. So click on that, and then you need to register for the webinar, and then it'll take you there. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks, and we'll see you there. Bye.